This is part two of the first episode of 11 Hours Apart, the ChiLLynn podcast. If you haven't listened to the first part, we really recommend you to check that out first. Otherwise, enjoy part two.
Okay, so let me pick one from my list. All right, I'll do Boyhood.
Oh, wow. I haven't seen that yet.
Boyhood. Oh, you should. Okay, so I picked this movie
Wow.
because it's the only one I know of that. Okay, so the story was about a boy growing up from when he was like 6 years old until he basically went to college, right?
Yeah.
So it was a span of like 12 years. And the way they film it is they have the same group of actors, like Ethan Hawke, Patricia Arquette, and this kid, right? They follow them from, when the boy was actually 6 years old, all the way
Yeah.
until he was like 18. So the way they did this is that they just, the directors who made this movie would just got them together like every year to film like a bunch of scenes. And 12 years later, he put it all together into a movie called Boyhood, which pretty much is like, recorded the boyhood of this, the entering and and the leaving of boyhood of this boy, right?
Yeah.
And well, I love Richard Linklater's movies in general. Like, there's another one that's on the list that's also made by him, but I've never seen a movie that tells this, a story of growing up and what it meant for the boy, for the father, for the mother, for the family, for over such a long time, and it was actually filmed in the same amount of time. Like, how incredible was that? I've never seen a movie
Crazy.
done this way, and it's just a beautiful story about, it's not very dramatic. There wasn't sort of any, like, dramatic moments per se, but it's a slow movie that I think has a lot of like strong after effect. Like, you would just stay in your head for a long time afterwards. And I have the movie, and I would just like watch it every once in a while, just because it's such, you actually see the actors growing up, growing old throughout this movie, and it's a unique experience, and it's a really well made film, and that's what I had it on my list. Yeah.
Did you relate to it a lot? Like, did you feel like the boy in the movie, did you feel like you related to him from your own experiences as a boy
Um,
growing up?
in some ways, yes, but because the family situation was very different. So the
Mm-hmm.
father and the mother, they sort of separated when he was still young, and he and his sister just like stayed with the mother. But um, the father, like the mom and dad, even though they were not married anymore, but they were still very close as family. So like the dad, even though he didn't live with the kids, he would just spend time as much as that he can whenever like it's his turn to have the kids. So
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't have that experience, and so that's something I couldn't relate to personally because I didn't have that experience. But I think I can empathize with that. Like, I can imagine if I were the boy, if this is my situation, and how I would feel. And I
Mm-hmm.
and the actor who played the kid did such a good job. Like, he was such a
Yeah.
natural actor. I can just really imagine myself in his shoes. And some of that is just growing up, you go from like really dependent on your parents
Mm-hmm.
to like at a certain point you want to be your own person. You don't want to at some point you want to, for example, like the end of the movie is when he was moving out to college, and his
Yeah.
mom realized that it's the first time ever that she will be she'll be the only person at home, and that's
Yeah.
just how things are going to be. And she she was really, I think she was, or she cried about uh, about this realization. But and I think part of it is sadness, because now that you're like, you have an empty nest. But I think part of that is also just this feeling that your kids have now grown up, and there must be some sort of like pride in it, and that makes you emotional as a parent. And even though I'm not there yet, right? But I can imagine, I don't know, if my cats ever go to college and they're moving out or something like that. You know, it's just yeah, like I can. I mean, there are not very many things in a movie that I can relate to from my personal experience, but the movie's does such a good job to bring me into their because it's so, you know, it's like if you're watching a real family going through all those different things. And I think there was okay, so at the end I think the mom says something, I think it's really profound, which is, I think, well, I'm paraphrasing.
I think I've heard this before, and like, it does stick with you. Yeah.
No,
do you want me to say it, or did you remember it?
Can you can you quote it? Like, because I'll be paraphrasing it.
If I think I'm right about what you're thinking of, because I think I read an article about it. I have not seen the movie, but the article was saying, she says something like, as you grow older, I love you more and more, but you love me less and less, or something like that.
Oh, that one. Okay,
that's a different one.
But it's not the one I was thinking of. I was thinking of the one where I think she was saying, like, growing up is not, or life is. Oh gosh. Okay, now I'm not even sure if that was the right one.
Look it up.
Okay.
You know what is interesting about this is it almost sounds like the movie is just as much about the mother as it is about the boy.
Yeah, it's about, I mean, the boyhood is not just about, you know, the boy, right? It's about it's a big period in life, right? And as the boy changes from a boy into like a young adult, and so, you know, so does his relationship with his mother, his father, his sister, and everything that surrounds him. And I think that the movie just captures that really, really well. Like, I can't find a better way to describe it, but I think it's a really, it's a unique movie, and it's a very, very moving one. I'm trying to find a quote.
If you want, I can share my next one, and then you can do the quote.
Yeah. Let's do that. Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and do that?
Okay. My next one is very different from the one you just talked about. Well, but maybe some similarities. And another one, I don't know if Chi would even know if I've ever even brought this movie up to you before, but I'm putting the movie Signs as my next one.
A nice ChiLLynn movie.
Yes, I think one of his best.
I like that movie. Is that the one?
Aliens.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Good movie.
The girl. It's like about the family and aliens invade, and then the aliens are coming into their house, attacking them, and they basically, the little girl in the family, it's a little girl and a little boy. So in the sense that it all relates to the last movie we talked about, Boyhood, it's also about, you know, it has two little children, and then their father, and then their uncle, maybe? I can't even remember. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I have seen it multiple times, and I own it because that movie was another one that I saw when I was younger, probably in middle school, probably in middle school, I would say. And it was probably the first, like, what I thought back then was a scary movie that I saw. It's not that scary now looking back, but I think it was the first movie that, like, my parents were like, this is a scary movie, but Leah can see it now. Like, because it's a good first scary movie, if that makes sense. Because it's
Yeah,
like kind of scary, but it's not that
yeah,
scary.
it's not that heavy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it meant a lot to me because I've always kind of liked scary movies, and I've always kind of liked being scared. Not too much, don't get me wrong. I'm not like a scary movie junkie. Like some people are, like they only want to watch scary movies and they will watch like horrifying movies. There are some movies that are probably too scary for me. But
I'm one of those people. I like
you
really
like
scary,
them.
scary movies. Yeah, yeah.
Really?
Yes,
I
yes.
didn't know that.
Yeah, well, it's not one of my, it's not on the list, but yeah, but we can talk about it later. There's like
Yeah.
like my favorite like horror movie of all time.
Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
God.
We might have to have like a month in the future where we do like next October, if we're doing this next
Yeah,
October,
let's do
we
like
should
next
have a
next
month of
Halloween
scary.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but my pick, like that, the one I have in mind is really, really scary.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding. Like it's
Yeah.
like yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, yeah,
Well,
let's save it for the future. For the future,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
yeah. I was debating in this spot for Signs or The Sixth Sense, because The Sixth Sense obviously was
Oh,
phenomenal also, and
yes.
probably a better movie than Signs, but Signs means more to me personally because it was my first scary type movie that I saw, and it involved aliens, and I do like outer space, anything to do with aliens and outer space. Not anything, but like I do like that a little bit. And what I appreciated about Signs specifically is they didn't show the aliens that much. Like they did show them, and they weren't really that. They looked pretty humanoid, so they weren't like, I don't know. They were kind of scary, but they weren't that scary. But like I don't think that they were quite as scary as the alien in Alien, the movie. You know what I mean?
Oh
But
yeah.
they what was cool about it is they didn't show them that much. So a lot of times you were reacting to the movement or the noise or without seeing the full alien. Like you rarely saw the full body of the alien. Which is just occurring to me that both Signs and 8 Mile were made fun of in the movie Scary Movie 3, which was which is really a comedy.
Yeah.
But that was another one that I watched without my parents' permission. But
Wait,
that I thought was
Scary Movie 3?
Yeah. Did you
Oh,
ever
okay.
have you ever seen those movies? Scary Movie 2,
I
Scary
think I've
Movie
seen
3?
like the first one. Yeah, like who it was, yeah, it was like parody of like the
Yeah.
scary movie tropes and you know that kind of stuff. Yeah. I think I might have seen like the first couple of them. I don't think I saw the third one because I don't remember anything. Like I don't remember like the sign and Amos being parodied in any of the movies that I saw. So yeah, probably not.
I think it was in Scary Movie 3, which came out when I was in middle school. And I just remember that. They make fun of both Signs and 8 Mile in that. And they make fun of, I think it was mostly making fun of, what the heck were those movies where they were like cheating death?
Final Destination.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I used to kind of like those movies too, actually. But
Yeah,
Signs was my first one, and I loved it. And I don't know, it had this cool like family story with it too. And I liked how the girl left all the water around the house, and the dad was always getting after her for it. And then in the end, that's what saved them, because they discovered that water actually, sorry, spoiler alert, but water is the thing that kills the aliens. So then that's how they win in the end, is that she had left all these glasses of water around, and the alien like accidentally bumps into it and it spills on him, and that's when they discover, oh, water like destroys them, like it burns their skin essentially. And yeah, so it was, I don't know, I kind of like that. Like the one thing that the dad always complained about is actually what saved them in the end.
Yeah, well, I think I saw the movie. I'm pretty sure I saw the movie, but my impression, I didn't remember much of it now, but I remember being a family movie. Like I remember like going in, I was expecting some sort of like, like a thriller or like like sci-fi sort of thing, and it turned out to be like a family. Wait, John Travolta was in it, right? Was it?
It was no, it was, I think it was Joaquin Phoenix. Did I say his name right? Joaquin Phoenix?
Okay, then I might be remembering all wrong. Yeah.
It was
Let me
what's his name that's in Sweet Home Alabama? And then also Joaquin Phoenix, I think.
Sweet Home Alabama.
I hope I'm remembering that right. I could be wrong.
Hold on. The signs. Oh, Mel Gibson.
Oh, it was Mel
yeah.
Gibson?
Okay, so okay.
But it's Joaquin Phoenix too.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, they're both in it. Wait, is this the one where like the aliens? Well, there's some sort of
Joaquin.
Yeah, like Joaquin Phoenix.
Okay.
So did the alien?
They swing the bat, like he
swings the bat. This one, right? Okay, yeah. I've seen it. Yes.
Yeah, and Abigail Breslin was the little girl. I didn't even realize that.
Oh wow, really? Yeah, I didn't know who she was back then.
And Rory Culkin was the boy. Is he Macaulay Culkin's brother? Probably.
Oh yeah, you bet. I mean, how many people in the show?
They look similar, so.
Yeah, like Culkin. It's you get like 5 people in this world have that last name.
So probably. Mel Gibson was one of the. Oh, I was thinking of a different actor for
the dad?
Father.
Oh.
But you're right. It is Mel Gibson. But I was thinking of, for some reason, I was thinking of the guy that's in Sweet Home Alabama. I don't know why I thought that. That was weird. What's his name?
A movie? It's a musical, isn't it?
Or what? Oh, it's a song, but it's a movie with Reese Witherspoon.
Right.
Josh Lucas. Sorry. That's who I thought the dad was in my mind. I don't know why. I don't know. Ignore me. Did you find the quote?
Josh Lucas. Okay, yeah. I like him. Josh Lucas.
I do too. He has such a nice like face. I don't know.
Yeah, his face is very nice. Yes.
I like him.
Yeah.
And he's not in enough things. Like I just wish he was in more stuff.
Yeah. Well, let's just hope that 2021.
Is he not a good guy or something?
No. It's just that sometimes you just don't. I don't know. Things don't work out as well as as people want for like no reason or not. Through no fault of their own. It's just what happened. Maybe he's happy. I don't know. Like maybe he's like doing a lot of stuff, just not a lot of movies. Who knows?
He's rarely. I mean, he is in movies, but he's not a leading role that much. But I really like him. I think he could be a leading role, but it probably is. He's probably just not even that interested in doing that. He'd rather just be the side role and get paid and get out of there sort of thing. I don't know.
Or maybe he's doing a lot of theater because a lot of actors.
He's just a cool guy.
Yeah, like maybe.
Oh no, you're frozen.
I'm frozen.
Oh, you're back.
Okay, yeah, just for 1 second.
Did you find the quote from Boyhood?
I did.
Okay, tell it to me.
Okay, it's just like a very short. Well, it's just a short sentence, and it goes like this. So the mom was saying that as the son was moving out, is like the mom said, what I'm realizing, my life is just going to go like that. This series of milestones.
Oh. Whoa.
Yeah. So no, but I think there was a follow up on this thing. So well, the idea is that life is when you look back, is really just a series of milestones. Like, your kids go to school, the first day of school, graduation from like middle school, just all this like milestones, and you add them up. That's life in essence. And I think it's a poignant point, and it's, I don't know, maybe it's like it's more profound when you like watch the whole movie, and when you get to that point when she says the line, it's really just like it really hit me.
Yeah.
And I think she wasn't being, well, the quote that I just read sounds like she was, it was like some sort of like a negative sort of sentiment, but it wasn't really that.
Oh.
It was more like because life is a long process, right? And when you look back, you might not remember all those like those like subtle moments of things that happened, but
Right.
you can always just like you can always use like those milestones as like anchor points to, okay, what to think back, okay, what was life like when my kids were born, when my son, the first day of my son going to school, of the day that my son moved out, that kind of thing. I think it was something that if I had watched the movie when I was like 18, I wouldn't get it. It wouldn't
Mhm.
it wouldn't be as profound. The quote wouldn't stand out as much to me if I had watched this as a younger person. Not that I'm old or anything, but like, when I like look back of my, like almost 4 decades of existence, it was really true that, when you think back, it's really those moments, like milestones, life events that stood out, and you can always just like remember things around that, all those things, all those events, and maybe that's why I really relate to that quote a lot. Yeah, but that was the quote.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I'll try to
interesting.
find if I can find like a full conversation. And I'll put it in the description later.
Well, I would be interested in watching that movie
Oh,
eventually too.
you really
So
should. You really should. Like,
I
yeah,
I was interested in watching it. I just didn't. It wasn't on purpose. I just happened to not ever get around to watching it. But I think
yeah,
it is on something like Netflix or something
maybe not on
these days.
Netflix. You probably had, well,
Okay.
yeah.
These days, I don't know.
These days, yeah, one of those days, I think if you have time, it's a movie worth checking out for sure. It's very
Yeah.
unique. Yeah,
Yeah. I could see I see what that was a good description of that
yeah.
quote,
And
Chi. I
think
think
I
you
think you might take away from the movie different things than I did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
curious.
even
I'm
with
curious.
that quote, I'm like thinking, and again, I haven't seen the movie, so I really can't talk on it, but it's like I could see how that would be what you take away from life if you're just thinking about you. But if you do have kids or even nieces and nephews, or if you were ever a teacher and taught like younger people than you,
Mm,
I think more of what you really leave behind in life is in the next generation, if that makes sense. It's more in other people than the milestones that you personally had. But I haven't seen the movie, so I'm sure it does sound like I can see what you're saying, that that quote holds a lot of weight, because it does make sense to me right now, like looking back, that yeah, it's easy. I mean, I think we're like kind of almost categorical thinkers as humans. Like we like to break things into segments and categories, and like say like this was that phase of my life, and then I was in this phase, and like come up with those milestones of like when you shifted from one thing to the next. And it is easy to think about things that way, and that is significant and worth contemplating. So
yeah,
cool.
I just want to add one last thing, which is I think
Okay.
the quote, because it was, I think part of that, why she was so she would say this is that I think for a long time, being a mother was like a really major part of her purpose in life,
Mm.
right? Like a lot of her meaning in life was being a mother to raise her two kids. And now there comes a moment when
Oh yeah,
her
they're
younger
gone.
son is about to fledge, right? Is about
Yeah.
to leave the nest. So as a mother, maybe I don't know if this maybe if like if women would feel this more than men, but I think when you, even though it's a good thing, right? Like your kids are going to college and they're becoming adults. There's a pride in that, but also that means that a big part of your meaning, of your value, your anchor in life is now gone, or will change substantially than what it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that for some people might be a great might just cause a lot of profound sadness in them, at least for like a while, right? Because now, like what am I? I think that it was partly because of that the mother was lamenting on the fact that she was using all her milestones were just like about her kids, right? Her life in the past 2 decades was about what happened to the kids and all that. But now that would change quite dramatically afterwards. I
Yeah,
think she was
that's
like
really fascinating.
yeah, I think she was sad about, she was just hit with that realization. And because because I can certainly see that. Well, even though maybe when I left home, right, when I moved away from home for like a while, and I think I saw, I can see some of that like in my parents, my mom especially. Yeah, I think she, especially like the parents of her generation, I think they have a hard time. It's good and bad. The good thing is that they're really nurturing. They really want to take good care of you. They want to cook for you, like just like that's really sweet. But at the same time, it's also, they might have a hard time treating you as adults. What happened?
Did you hear that?
Oh, what happened? Oh, Sadie?
It's Sadie.
Oh, I didn't hear anything.
You okay, Sadie? She's hearing
Oh, like noises.
my neighbors. There were some doors opening and closing, and she heard it. It's okay, Sadie.
Of course.
Sorry.
Of course. Okay. Yeah. So no. So
Your parents.
They have a hard. They might have a harder time adjusting. Like adjusting what being a parent means as their kids grow up. Because in their minds, they're always, I'm just gonna cook for my kids and clean their rooms and all that. Like, I don't know, it might be very different in like the Western culture, but at least in like the in Taiwan, that's like the mindset of my parents. And I can see as I grow more and more independent, they sometimes have a harder time like adjusting to that fact. And I think the same sort of realization with Patricia Arquette's character in the movie, and that made her so sad. Yeah.
Okay. That sounds like we need to add that movie to the list.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I think it's a great movie. It's worth a week for sure.
Yeah. I have so many thoughts, but yeah, you did a really good job interesting me in it even more.
Awesome.
So yeah,
right.
I think that sounds like a good plan to
Yeah.
put that on our list for a future
all right
podcast.
Let's do it. So that was Boyhood. Yeah.
Okay.
It's my turn. It's your turn. So you just said Sign or what? Like
I just said Signs, but then you went back to Boyhood. So Boyhood. I think it's actually your turn.
My turn. All right.
Yes.
So all right. So I'm gonna another Richard Linklater movie, which is a trilogy. It's the Before Trilogy.
Whoa, never even heard of it.
All right, you should check it out for sure. So it's
add it to the list.
Again, it's 3 movies. The first one is called Before Sunrise, and then the second one is Before Sunset, The third one is Before Midnight. It's a
Oh.
romantic movie. So the first one is Ethan Hawke. He was like a backpacking.
She really likes Ethan Hawke.
Oh yeah, they're like a power combo, man. Like they're awesome together. Ethan Hawke is pretty amazing just by himself. Like he is so talented, and I like him a lot. But anyway,
This is gonna sound really ignorant, but
yeah.
What country is Ethan Hawke from?
Are you serious? He's American.
He is?
Yeah, he's
For
American.
some reason, I thought he was Scottish or something like that.
no. What?
Well, good. I'm proud that he is American.
He's American. He's one of your own, Leah. Yeah,
Woo!
he's your fellow American. Yeah, he's American.
Great actor.
Yeah, check him out. All right. Well, okay. So in the first movie, Before Sunrise, Ethan Hawke was like backpacking through Europe, and he met this woman, this French woman played by Julie Delpy, on the train, and he convinced her to get off the train in, I think, Vienna.
Oh.
I forgot which city it was. Like,
I've seen that scene.
Yeah, so they got off the train.
I might have seen that.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, okay, so they ended up spending like an evening in the night, just wandering through the streets. Well, let's just say it's Vienna. I could be wrong, but it's like a European city. It's not in France. It's like somewhere there. Yeah. And they just kept talking and talking and talking. And at the end of it, because Julie Delpy, she had to like go back to her like grandmother's home or something. Well, she had to go. So they only have like this evening and a night together. And at the end, they went their separate ways, but they agreed. They made a promise that they're gonna come back a year from that point, a year from now, and then meet up at the train station. And the movie ended there. So the movie, when it was made, it was not planned to be a trilogy at all. It was supposed to be like this one-off. It's about just conversations, the connections between two people.
Yeah.
But then they only have like this so many hours together, and then they went their separate ways. But the thing is, 9 years later, they got together, and they said, okay, well, they have a new story to follow up on what happened to those two people. So in the second movie, Ethan Hawke was so the same amount of time has passed in the movie world, right? So the two characters now, like 9 years into the future, Ethan Hawke was like a published author, and he was doing this book tour in France. Mm-hmm. And Julie Delpy's character came to one of the book readings and book signings. So they met up after 9 years. So they caught up, and they because they were each at very different places in life now, right? Like they both have like a partner. Ethan Hawke even had two daughters, like a son, I think, in the movie. So they spent like an afternoon together, and at the end, they had to go their separate ways again. And so they did. And that was the second movie. Third movie was, again, 9 years afterwards, both in real life and in the story. Mm-hmm. They are now together. They left their own partners in the second movie. They were married, and they had a twin daughter together. And the story was they went on this like family holidays in Greece. So they are now, in the movie, in the story, they have been married for a few years now. So they are now, they argue, they bicker, they have arguments, just like, a couple, like an old couple would do.
Yeah.
And the amazing thing is that, again, the same two people playing the two same characters, but when they were in their 20s, 30s, and 40s. And it's just amazing. Like you can see they're still the same two people, and but you know who they are, and who they are, you know, I would say are fundamentally the same, but because they have grown, they have changed, and their circumstances also changed, right? They're like just strangers who met on a train to like, you know, friends who haven't met for a long time to like a married couple. And it's just again, it's a very realistic capture of what you know, real life people are, and just like the connection between these two people. And it's just it's my one of my favorite romantic movies of
Yeah.
all time. And again,
Okay.
none of the movie was dramatic. You know, it was just very
Yeah.
sort of realistic, and you feel like you're watching two real people just going through all these things in life. And yeah, it's just amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is super interesting because I've had a couple conversation. Actually, one of my friends from undergrad asked one time, like, what is the best love story, like, movie ever told or ever made? And he was like, don't say Titanic. Because that one's kind of like a cop out because they don't actually, you know, spoiler alert. You've seen it, right? You've seen it too, right? Right?
Yeah, well, let me think. Yeah, I think so. No, I've seen it, of course.
Leo dies at the end,
Uh-huh.
so it's like they don't really ever, you know, get to that phase of past the honeymoon phase, essentially. And
Yeah. And
so
he didn't have to die at all.
I know,
Like,
right?
he could have survived. You know, they could have made a sequel,
Rose.
Titanic 2 or something like that. They just
He actually got pulled up by like somebody else.
right, exactly. Exactly. No, yeah, Titanic. Well, it wasn't a bad movie. I gotta say, I
It was
enjoyed that
really
movie
good.
quite a lot.
Oh yeah.
Well, romantic. Okay, so yeah, I have two on my list.
Okay,
This
cool. Well,
trilogy
that
is
I
one
mean,
of my
I
favorites.
think that's cool that you put that trilogy on there though, because when my friend asked me that, or he didn't just ask me, it was like a whole group of people, but I've had that conversation since then with a couple of other people because we had a really hard time that first time when my friend asked coming up with one because they're just, I mean, most of the romantic like love story movies that are out there are either like too Hollywood in the sense that they're too idealistic and too like fake, or they are really sad stories. It's like it's a love story, but then they end up getting like the one movie we would talk a lot about is the movie Blue Valentine, which is very,
Oh, that's a
yeah,
good movie
very,
too.
very good. And it
Very good.
is very realistic, and you do see them fall in love, and it is like amazing to watch, but then obviously ends very sadly
Mhm.
and also shows the kind of decomposition of that love. And so yeah, it was like that was our best movie we could come up with. So we're like, where is there an example in a movie of like true love essentially, or like, you know, long lasting love? And obviously
Yeah.
people struggle over years and years of being in love. And so anyways, that trilogy sounds like that would be a good one to watch if you're someone who is looking for a good romantic or realistic romance
Yes.
story.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I would say that's one of the best because it's not,
Cool.
because it shows you everything, right? Like the you
Yeah.
know, the excitement, the sweetness,
The ups and the
the
downs.
connection, but also how, you know, how all these can happen in real life situations, right? Like for example, you might have a person you if you reconnected with, but you just couldn't, you know, the like life would just force you to go different ways, right? And how you would how a person can deal with that. And
Yeah.
then you know, as you go to marriage, what love looks like in a marriage. It's very
Yeah.
different from what love
Yeah.
was like in, when you just like started dating or something.
Yes.
But
yes.
all this love, right, quote unquote love, they're all real, but they can take on very different they can have very different faces and very different,
Form.
feelings and all that. Like it just captures this arc, right? Two people with real connections, how they go through life together. And I think that's really, really rare. That's really amazingly captured in these three movies.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the best.
And the director of those is who?
Richard Linklater.
Okay.
Linklater.
And the director of Boyhood was who?
The same guy.
Okay. So both the Boyhood and the Before Trilogy was the same director,
Yep.
lead actor,
Yep.
well, Ethan Hawke and
Ethan Hawke.
the same actress also.
No, the actress
is different.
Yeah, so
okay.
Julie Delpy was the one in the Before Trilogy. She was French. Well, she is French.
Okay.
And the boy was Patricia Arquette. She's American.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. All right. I just wanted to clarify that. So, okay.
Yeah, that's a great, again, one of my autumn favorite movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we might have to do those as well in the future since I haven't seen those either.
I'll even buy you a copy because it's that good. I'm not kidding.
Oh my gosh. Well, we'll get there. We will get there.
We'll get there. Yeah, if you do want to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Oh man, Valentine's Day is coming up. I was gonna say maybe that's a good Valentine's Day. I'm like thinking about when we're gonna do these in alignment with the appropriate holiday season.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your turn.
It my turn? Okay. So I'm on number 6 on my list.
Oh Jesus.
I think I can be brief with this one because I feel like it speaks for itself. I don't think this will come as a surprise to you, Chi, given some of our recent conversations, but I put Star Wars.
All of it? All 9 of them?
Well, I put Star Wars down, but if I have to choose just one, I would choose Empire Strikes Back. That's kind of the obvious choice, I guess. But I just wanted to throw out there that I love the original trilogy, but I also am a fan of the prequels, unlike some people. But I am not a fan at all of the sequels. At all. I'm adamantly not a fan of the sequels.
I think that's
not even one of them. I didn't even like The Force Awakens, which some people like that one but didn't like the other two.
Yeah.
I wasn't even a fan of The Force Awakens, to be quite honest. I was excited for it. I went to the theaters to see it.
Wait, didn't we go together?
Did we?
Was that the one? We went with Laura to.
Oh my gosh.
I think so, right? Like when we saw in 3D.
We did?
I think there might be some like evidence.
I don't remember that.
I think so.
I know I went to theaters to see it. I don't remember the 3D part, but I would not be surprised if it was with, I think you're right, Laura.
Oh, wait, yes.
Oh.
Okay, I was absolutely right. We absolutely did this because I remember afterwards. Again,
what did I say afterwards?
You somehow thought Adam Driver was British or something.
I'm not. Oh gosh.
And I thought like, no, man, no, Leah, he's American. And then like you like look up.
He not only is American, he was like in the Marines.
Yes, he's not just
he served in the U.S. military.
Yes, and I was like, I think you like look up afterwards.
Probably
by yourself and confirm that and believe that yeah he's American.
It's like no, he's British. He's British.
He's British. No, he's not British.
Well, the
Yeah, okay.
actress is British.
Who? Yeah. Yes. Daisy Ridley. Yeah, she's British.
And Finn.
He's also British. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he was he born in England though?
I think so.
I think.
I
Oh,
think so.
really?
Yeah,
I don't.
I think so. He's pretty young. I don't think he like was born in. Well, of course, he's African British, right? Yeah, African British people. But yeah, I think he was born in the UK.
Okay. I thought I heard that he wasn't, but that he immigrated to the UK with his family. But I could
let's
be
fact check.
wrong. I definitely was wrong about Adam Driver. So
Let's see. Yeah, Leah. He was born in London.
Nigerian.
He was born in Peckham district of London.
Oh,
Yeah.
never mind.
Never mind.
But his family's from Nigeria. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, I feel bad for
That's okay.
all of the actors
I'm sure
and
he'll forgive
actresses
you.
that were I feel bad for all of the actors and actresses that were in the sequel trilogy. Sorry, Disney, but
it's a shame. It's really a shame. Like I was actually okay with the first one. I liked the first one.
Finn is the same age as me.
Are you serious?
Yes, 1992, baby.
Turning 30.
Year of the monkey.
Year of the monkey.
In the Chinese calendar.
You are a monkey.
No, we're turning 29 this year.
Oh wait. Yeah, but he was born. Yes, so is he, right? He's turning 29.
Yeah.
Oh, did I say 30? Oh, sorry. I meant to say 29. I don't know why. I don't know what happened.
Get it right, Chi. I got another year till I'm 30.
Almost there.
Yeah, getting close, getting real close. But anyways, I just wanted to point out that I was a kid when the prequel trilogy came out. So I actually feel like I liked the prequel trilogy quite a lot. It actually. I didn't even know that people hated on it so much until I got older. But I even liked the Phantom Menace. I really did because I was a little girl.
The second
That's episode 1 where Anakin is a little boy and he does the pod racing.
Oh, okay.
I thought he was really cool that he could race those pods so fast. As a little girl, that was really cool to see a little boy beating all the adults in the race. And then
yeah, it was cool.
But I know I didn't see Phantom Menace or Attack of the Clones episode 1 or 2 in theaters, but I definitely saw episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, in theaters. So that one is meaningful to me too, and I thought was very, very good. Everyone hates on Hayden Christensen, but he did phenomenal in episode 3, I feel, showing the transition from Anakin to Darth Vader. I thought was really well done. So I really like that movie. But if I have to choose my absolute favorite, Empire Strikes Back, because, I don't need to explain, I don't think.
Yeah,
so
I'm
just going to leave it at that.
Yeah, classic.
So, your turn.
My turn. All right. Okay, I'm going to follow this up with the Matrix Trilogy.
You know what? Surprise fact. I still haven't seen the Matrix Trilogy, embarrassingly enough.
Are you serious?
I know. I've seen bits and pieces. And you know what? Funnily enough,
where have you been?
I know. Well, I know. So because I haven't seen it, but because it's so much in the culture, I obviously understand. I've heard the through the grapevine over the years the gist of it, but I still don't know like what actually goes down. I obviously know the stereotypical like Neo like bending back and dodging the bullets thing.
Right.
Like I know all that. I know some of the characters even because everybody, you know, it's again so prominent in the culture, but that was another movie that was made fun of in Scary Movie 3. Which I did see.
Yeah, everybody was making fun of this, like the Keanu Reeves, like like leaning back and dodging the bullets. I mean, that's a classic theme, right? That's just yeah. That is so iconic.
I cannot believe I'm like reflecting back on all these movies and I keep coming back to Scary Movie 3. Scary Movie 3 maybe should have been in my top 8 because apparently it had a profound impact on me.
Seems like that's the movie you learn everything from.
Yeah, because you know what else is in there was The Ring. Did you ever see that scary movie, The Ring?
Okay. That is the movie that's like the top on my horror movie list. But not the remake. The original one.
Oh, the original.
The Japanese one.
I've never seen that, but I heard it's way scarier.
Oh my God. Okay. That is the one that I was mentioning before that I didn't say the name.
Yeah.
The Japanese The Ring, the first one, the Japanese one.
Yes, I know. I remember that.
I went to see it. I went to see it in a theater. And that was the only movie ever that made my heart stop.
That you peed in your pants.
Yeah, that too. Well, you don't have to mention that. No, but like the finale of the movie, I feel like somebody was grabbing my heart. Like, you know, sometimes when you go on a roller coaster, when you go down like the really steep slope, you get this like tightness up in the chest.
Yeah.
I had that feeling when the finale movie happened.
Oh my God.
Oh, it was creepy as shit.
I'm scared.
I mean, the movie was creepy throughout. Like there were scenes in the movie that just just downright creepy.
Yes.
But the finale, oh Jesus,
Okay.
that was so horrifying. Yeah.
I don't like, I think it that movie where was it because I saw the American version. But I remember hearing at that time, like the coolest people at that time when that movie came out, which again was probably when I was still in middle school, or ninth grade maybe, would also saw the Japanese version. And you know, the whole rumor going around is the Japanese version is way scarier, way better, blah blah blah. And I believe it. But in the American version, is it in that movie where there's like a girl or something where in one scene, I know it's the whole well and the ring and the girl with the hair over her face and all that, but like the one scene where there's like a moment where I think it's another girl or the same girl and her face, like her jaw like drops really far down. Do you know what I'm saying?
You mean the
American version?
I didn't see the remake. Not all of it. But nothing like that happened in the original.
Okay.
They didn't relate any of the the gross any sort of gross part of the body or something. Nothing like that. It's all just creep. It just it's just exactly.
Does she crawl? Yeah, okay. I might be mixing
up
different.
Spoil it for you? Like, do you know what happened?
No. I want to watch the Japanese version one day.
Are you? Oh, okay. You might want to.
I mean, I saw the American version, so I don't know.
Some people over because that's really, really creepy.
Oh, I'm not going to watch it by myself. I'm telling you that right now.
Okay.
But
good. Okay.
Yeah, what bothered me, I think, about the American version, if I'm not confusing it with another one, is it was like kind of scary throughout. But the scariest part for me was this part where the girl, like there's a girl and her face like contorts kind of, and her jaw drops down really far, and her face almost like contorts into this like unnatural shape. And I realized that is this, like, I hate seeing that. Like, I hate seeing disfigurement or weird body contortions that aren't natural. Like, that stuff, like, I really does scare me. Like, I get scared by other stuff, but it's like a fun scared. And then the like disturbing, like, body contortions or unnatural, or even things where it looks like people's like bones are breaking. Oh, like I just don't want to see that. So that like really, that was the one thing that I think was in the American Ring, if I'm remembering it correctly, but I could be getting it confused with a different movie because I went through a phase where I was watching a lot of different scary movies. So anyways, I just remember that one like face scene was the scariest part of that movie for me. And yeah, I just don't like seeing it.
Yeah.
So anyways.
Have you seen The Exorcist?
No, because that's what I want to see too, but like those exorcism movies are scary to me on a different level because I actually was raised Catholic. That is like weirdly, that is something that like, I don't think I believe in all of that, but there is some aspect of it that I think, having been raised Catholic and knowing that that has existed in the Catholic Church and still exists today, like there are still exorcisms that are performed by priests today, freaks me out. And that freaks me out also. That's the other thing. Those are the two things that scare me the most, is bodily unnatural contortions and disfigurement, and then also possessions by demons, because what scares me about that is that you could be in your bed, like the one place where you feel the safest, and they can still get you, you know? Like,
nowhere to hide.
Nowhere to hide. You can't hide anywhere. That's what freaks me out about exorcism stuff, is that like once you've been possessed, like they got you.
Yeah.
So it's and no matter where you go, you can't like hide from it. You can't run from it. You can't attack it yourself. Like, I don't know. It's very disturbing to me to think that you're totally trapped.
Yeah, if they get you, they get you. No, but like I brought this up because there was another iconic like bodily contortion scenes in the movie.
Oh yeah, I know. And that's the other thing.
No, but the great thing is, I think because a lot of movies use that as like, that is the thing, right? That just happens like again and again. That was like the selling point, but not that movie. Like the I think they use that just to showcase how unnatural they show that she was really possessed. It wasn't like a mental illness thing. Like she was really possessed, and because that, I mean, that was just that one scene where that happened. So that really stood out, and that was effective. You were really like, you were creeped out by what happened, and and that is it's a great thing, because it's just, you know, it's so, if you use that like sparingly, I think it can be very effective. But if you use like too much, that's just, you know, you're just that's just too much. But The Exorcist was an example of using that smartly and sparingly and to great effect. That's why I brought that up.
Yeah. And the stairs of The Exorcist are in Georgetown, DC area, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
And I think I walked up those stairs one time.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Just
but
like
I hadn't seen the movie,
like the
so
girl,
I was
just in the same way the girl did you try to like,
ew, no.
yeah, you wouldn't do that.
No.
No.
But yeah. Okay, but you had chosen The Matrix. Did you want to elaborate on that anymore, since I rudely interrupted you?
It's gonna be brief. So it's a great sci-fi story, right? And it also has like a computer metaphor behind it, because the whole story was about excuse me, on the surface is about, this guy was helping those insurrectionists, like those people to overthrow this tyranny of this regime, right? but then they can also see everything as in the metaphor of computer virus and all that. And so it was just a great sci-fi story. Yeah, that's it, with some iconic action scenes. Classic.
Cool.
That's
Very
it.
nice. Yeah, that one kind of goes without speaking too, because it's obviously was very popular. And aren't they coming out with a new one?
They
soon?
are. Yeah, with Keanu Reeves.
So I gotta get on that.
You
essentially.
gotta.
We're gonna have to have a
But the great
Matrix like premiere
preparation.
party.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's on my list actually. I actually do have a list of movies that I'm shocked that I've never seen, and the Matrix trilogy is on there. And I've been meaning to watch it for so long, and I even was going to watch it. Me and my sister were going to watch it together one time because she hadn't seen it yet either. I don't think she might have seen it now, but
Right. I think on Netflix. You can like watch it all three on Netflix now, I think.
Oh, awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. That's good to know. I'll look that up soon.
Awesome.